Hello guys, you're welcome to another one of my videos, and in this series we're going to be talking about the Rust programming language. So right now I'm on the Rust website. As you can see, we're on rustlang.org. And so what is Rust? Rust is a relatively new programming language, but it's actually a low-level programming language that is used for systems programming. So you can use it for basically things that you do with C++, but it can also be used for web. So why should you learn Rust? I mean, well, first of all, we could look at some of the things that they actually have on their homepage. So you can see for performance reasons, reliability, productivity, but all of these actually, doesn't really have like any meaning. So the reason I would recommend you use Rust is if you use C++, you understand that most of C++ and C actually allow you to manage memory yourself. And some of this is actually desirable if you are if you need to work with if you need to write performance software. But with Rust, this is not actually necessary because Rust gives you all of the power that you have with C++, but it also helps you manage memory and allocation and deallocation, and basically allows you to write safe code where you don't basically have a lot of memory leaks and a bunch of other things like that. There's a lot of things that Rust is actually capable of. Basically it does everything that is available for you in C and C++, but it also provides more functionality in that it has a lot of tools and constructs that prevents you from writing terrible code. And most of what you'll be going against with Rust is actually the borrow checker. The borrow checker is basically what manages variables and how long the variables live and scope and stuff like that. So if you're new to programming in general, don't worry, we're going to be covering Rust from scratch. But if you already have a little bit of experiences with programming, then you're going to love Rust because it's actually an easy language to program in. The only problems you're going to be facing most of the times are going to be, like I said, with the borrow checker. So you're probably going to spend like 95% of your time fighting with the compiler, okay? Which is going to be very funny because anyway, I'm talking too much here. If you want to install Rust, just go to rustlang.org and you can click on the install. So when you click on install, it's going to give you some recommendations. So if you're using Linux, which I recommend you should be using, then just copy this line of code and hop over to your terminal, paste it in, and you should be good. I already have Rust installed, so I'm not going to do it again. But if you want to install it on Windows, then click on the other installation methods and get it installed on your Windows machine. So I always want to set this to dark mode. And one good thing about Rust is actually that it's available on all major platforms. So whatever code you write in Rust is going to be available for you to use on the Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, and iOS. So yeah, so basically Rust got you covered on every platform you might want to use the language on. Another thing is that Rust is fully interoperable with C, so most of the libraries that are already available to use in C are actually usable in Rust. So this is actually a good thing, and we're going to explore those in subsequent videos. And also you can try Rust without actually installing it by clicking on the playground here. So if you don't want to install Rust, then you could have this, okay, where you can actually test whatever code you want to write and run it and all. So this is actually good, if you're running on maybe Windows and you don't want to go through the stress of installing Rust yourself. So right, I think we have everything we need. So right, the next thing you might need is the IDE that you're gonna use for working with Rust. And I think for that you could click on the tools to find whatever IDE is available. As you can see, Rust is available to use in VS Code, Sublime Text, Atom, IntelliJ, blah blah blah. So pick your poison and you should get ready to start working with Rust. So in this video, I'm going to be using what is this? I'm going to be using Sublime Text, okay? And I already have everything I need to work with Rust. So in order to start using this, all I just have to type is cargo new hello Rust. And what this is going to do is that it's going to create a new Rust project. As you can see, create a binary application, blah blah blah. So this is going to create a new Rust application package, and cargo is actually Rust package manager. You know, it allows you to it basically manages your Rust project and a bunch of other things like that. So we're going to learn a little bit more about cargo, but not in this video. So let's just take a look at what a Rust project looks like. I'm going to open the folder. So I'm going to go to my dev directory, hello Rust, and I'm going to open it in Sublime Text. So let's just take a look at what a Rust project actually looks like. So here we have the main.rs, and you can see this contains just a function and this. We're going to talk about what all this is in a minute. And then you can see you also have a cargo.toml file here and a cargo.lock. So what this cargo.toml file is basically what you use to manage your project or your package as it's called. So you can see here we have the name of our package, we have the version, and this is talking about the Rust edition. So what the Rust edition is something that basically denotes the version of Rust that we're gonna be like the compiler features that we're gonna be using inside of our project. And we'd love to use the 2018 edition. I think there's the 2015 and there's 2018 and 2021. I don't think the 2021 is out yet, so you could just forget about this 2018 you know, whatever, and just keep it there. Now the dependencies section is basically what allows you to reference dependencies inside of your Rust project. So there's a website called crates.io. This is where you're gonna find a lot of libraries that has been published by other Rust developers and you can use in your own project. And the good thing about this website is that all of the libraries you find here are actually free to use. So there's a bunch of them. As you can see, there's about, I don't know, $8 billion, it's 65,958 crates. So this is good because compared with C++, where it doesn't really have like a place to find libraries, you know, you just basically have to go search for the libraries you need with C++. With Rust, there's a single place where you can always look for whatever libraries you're looking for. And so if you go to the categories, whatever, you're gonna find what you're looking for. So right, so let's go to the main.rs because this is the main file that we're gonna be working with. Oh, the cargo.log file, by the way, is just simply what the cargo build system creates when it wants to you know, build your project. So as you can see, it says this file is automatically generated by cargo, do not touch. So just leave that shit like that and let's just move on with the actual project. So this is our main function. Now if you've seen a main function before, a main function it's just like in C++, but this is basically the entry point of our application. So this is where the application is going to start execution, and then we can move on from there to do other things inside of our program. And what is contained inside of our main function is just a print line statement which says hello world. So if I run this code, what this is going to do is it's going to print hello world to the screen. Okay, and as I said earlier, if you want to get support for Rust editing in your Sublime Text or whatever IDE, just pick one of these and then follow the installation instructions right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type so I have Ctrl+Shift+P to get this dialog, and I'm gonna type cargo run, and so you're gonna see it's compiling the project and then it's going to run it, and I'm gonna see hello world down here. Now I can also run it in the terminal by typing cargo run, and it says cannot find cargo. Oh, so I have to cd into my hello Rust and then cargo run, and now you should see hello world right there on the screen. So this is just an introduction to Rust. In the next video, we're gonna start talking about the data types and some of the very fundamental constructs of the Rust programming language. See you soon.